I would imagine that most of you work hard for the money that you earn. So would you be willing to go to work all day long, get your paycheck, and then go to the courthouse and hand it over to someone that was just convicted of murder? Well, if you're surprised that I'm asking you this question, you're actually doing this unwillingly. Or is it willingly? According to sociologist Matt DeLisi and the FBI, housing murderers alone in 2009 cost the United States $263 million. Also, they estimate that each rape alone costs $448,532. American citizens are putting a roof over the culprits' heads and foods in their bellies when we're struggling to do this ourselves. I don't personally want to spend my hard-earned money on someone that doesn't deserve to see the light of day or respect other people's rights. So, in the next 8 to 10 minutes, I'm going to explain to you what capital punishment is, the pros and cons of it, the injusticeness of supporting these sick people, and the practicality of this solution. So what's the big deal of letting these people sit in prison? Supporting and paying for these people and what they did isn't giving justice to the victims or their families. Each murder costs American taxpayers $17 million. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, the capital punishment has been around since the beginning of time. The first record of this showing is in Hammurabi's Code, which is dating back to 18th century BC, and this is where an eye for an eye comes from. This may be hard to do, but put yourself in the victims and their families' shoes. How could you stomach working and paying taxes to support the person that hurt your family in the way that they did? It's unfair to these people, and it's not right that we have to pay for what they did. So why aren't we giving the guilty convicts what they gave their victims? They disregarded their rights, so why are we allowing them to have their rights? People will argue they have a right to live. Well, didn't the guilty person have a right to live before they defiled that? I believe in karma. What goes around comes around. You get what you deserve, and I believe that if you disregard someone's rights and hurt them in the way that murderers and rapists do, then you don't deserve anything other than what you did to them. Capital punishment should be implemented in every homicide, child molestation, and rape case on which the person is proved guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. So here I have this sheet which shows that it costs about $168 to actually give the lethal injection, not including how much they're going to pay the actual doctor, which still is got to be cheaper than $263 million. So, yes, I agree, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but why are we letting these people escape with their lives when they didn't let their victim escape with their lives? People may argue that capital punishment won't slow down the crime rate, or, killing people for killing people to show that killing people isn't right. Well, it may not stop it completely, but why are we letting them just sit around in prison? I don't think that it's right. Every hour there are about 57 murders. That equals about 1,300 murders a day, which in the end is 500,000 murders every single year. Which, when you add all that up, that's a lot of money that American taxpayers are paying to let these sick-minded people sit around. There's also 207,754 rapes per year, which is also a lot of money going towards these people that don't deserve our money. Right now, the U.S. is in an unfathomable amount of debt. So, I agree with you that doing away with, a life sentence in prison isn't going to pull the United States out of debt, but it's a quick sinking ship. I believe that if we're going to use money as a life raft, then we should try to save all of the money that we possibly can to get our country and the people that deserve our money back to where we need to be. Currently, there are about 38 states in the United States that allow the death penalty. The U.S. government also allows the death penalty, and the U.S. military does also. 12 states do not, and the most recent to abolish the capital punishment is New Mexico in 2009, Connecticut in 2012, and Maryland in 2003. The practicality of the death penalty is actually much more practical than throwing away money on these useless cold-blooded delinquents. So you're going to ask yourself, is this really practical? But I'm going to answer it for you, and I'm going to say yes. I don't believe that people convicted of petty crimes such as burglary or breaking into places or people that graffiti things should be killed. No. Drunk drivers shouldn't be killed. But I also believe that we shouldn't let these innocent people have to pay for what the guilty people did. Because one selfish person decided that they didn't want to follow the rules and they wanted to go kill somebody else. They showed impiety for other people's rights, and we should not give them their rights. So, according to facts provided by Danya Joy in an article in 2012, she says that it's legal to execute people guilty of espionage, treason, and murder. Do I believe that people should be killed for espionage and treason? No, I don't. I really don't. But murder, people that murder other people, definitely do not deserve our money. Why are we supporting them? Why are we supporting them? They didn't support anything that we have done. They gave up their rights when they killed somebody else. John O'Sullivan says, he was a former lawyer in Georgia, and he says, he wants to know, is capital punishment incompatible with civilized society? And I'm going to say no, it's not incompatible, because I'm going to back up to my other point. People say that they have a right to live. Well, why are we allowing them to live when they didn't let their victims live? There's a good chance most murders happen to people and they're just random. You don't know who they are. So, as of 2010, inmates spend 178 months on death row, which is about 14.8 years. Is this a bad thing? Some argue yes, some argue no. I'm going to say yes and no. I believe that 14 and a half years is way too long to be supporting someone that doesn't deserve to be supported. But also, I don't want people that are wrongfully convicted killed. I believe that people should have a fair trial, they should be listened to, and once they are proven guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt, then they definitely do not deserve to live. Mike Bowers, he was a former attorney, and he says, people are adamant that every single avenue is exhausted to make sure that the people that are wanting to be proven guilty are actually guilty, and that the condemned aren't wrongfully convicted. So, how do you feel now after listening to the numbers of capital punishment versus letting someone guilty sit in jail? I believe that the United States and the American taxpayers need to open their eyes. It is our tax dollars that are going towards these sick people. So, it's your opinion. You have a right to your opinion, but I believe that we should not be sitting around working our butts off and then paying for these people that committed a murder or a rape or molested young children. So, the picture's kind of small, but this man name is John Wayne Gacy, also known as Bobo the Clown. He killed 33 teenage boys. 26 of them were buried under his house, and over half of them he sexually molested. They were young boys, and he used the clown as kind of to lure these people in. So it's people like that that we're working for, that we're paying for, to put food in their stomachs and a roof over their head. We're paying for those people. So why? The capital punishment should be implemented in every single state, in every single country across the United States. So let's take a step back and go over what we covered today. It's unjust to let the victims and their families have to wonder and worry about what their person is doing that hurt their family. It's practical. The death penalty is practical as long as the person is proven guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. And the death penalty is not wrong. It's not wrong. They have no right to live, and they have no right when the person that they hurt, they had no rights. So I'd just like to thank you guys for listening to my speech.